Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Hodge. This episode of WWE News and Rumors is brought to you by SeatGeek. So if you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, it doesn't even have to be a wrestling show. It could be any show, any event, anything you actually need a ticket for. Go ahead and use SeatGeek. Use code Hodge, just my last name, and save you guys $20 off your tickets. Now, if you've used the site before, just make a new account and you can use my code anyways. First time orders only. But save yourselves $20 with just my last name. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick this out with the first news story of the day. It's about Vince McMahon. I always get a little iffy about talking about this here because, you know, YouTube has its guidelines and stuff, and I don't want to say anything not right. So basically, Vince McMahon has paid off people he apparently had relationships with of sorts, if you guys get what I'm trying to say. So basically, there's been a lot of media coverage, mainstream media coverage about this. Like, he's plastered all over newspapers. He's on major media, and actually, they were planning to do a documentary on him before this, like of his successes in life and the business he has helped grow to be as large as it possibly could be and what it is today. And Netflix was actually making a documentary on this. But since this news came out about Vince McMahon, apparently Netflix has pulled the plug on this documentary. Now, I didn't know how far along they got on this. I heard they were working on this for a few years. But apparently this thing was in post-production. If you don't know what post-production means, it pretty much means everything's already filmed. And pretty much the thing's already made. They just have to edit it together. Like, they have to edit the piece together and make it like a movie. And apparently they were like, piecing it together and finishing it up. And they pulled the plug on it. It's not happening anymore. So anyone who was working on that has been told to stop and go work on something else because we're not doing this anymore. So that sucks. You can have your own opinion on this. Personally, it sucks to see something that close to being finished and not being able to be finished. But with everything going on right now, it's not right to release it. I think maybe they should have finished it and could hold off and release it later if things got better, which the things keep seeming they're getting worse. I really don't know what they should do, in all honesty. But ladies and gentlemen, that Vince McMahon documentary Netflix was working on has officially had the plug pulled on it. All right, so the next news story. The next news story is about Randy Orton. So Randy Orton's injured, right? He's had his back surgery. He's supposed to be out for the rest of the year. But something crazy is going on. Randy Orton's actually advertised for a show, like a WWE show to be at the show. And the show is actually advertised for as a house show. And it's actually this week, which is weird. So if I saw Orton was advertised for a house show, I'm like, yeah, it's a mistake advertising. Like, he's not going to be there. He's injured. He can't wrestle for the rest of the year. But with it being week of, like, no one has caught this mistake yet. Like, the show is literally this week, and no one has caught this mistake. The show is July 16th, this week, this Saturday night main event, they're calling it, because they give them the house shows labels now for some reason. Orton's probably not going to be there, so don't get your hopes up. I just wanted to make this, like, public service announcement. Randy Orton, probably, like, 90% chance he will not be at the July 16th show. This is probably an advertising mistake, because the guy just had back surgery. It's going to take a while to heal. He's not wrestling, so he's not going to get the show. I'm not sure why he's still advertised, though, literally the week of the show. So there you guys have it. That's actually the only confirmed news stories that I talked to you guys about today. So go get your juice boxes out, get your juice boxes ready, because ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. All right, the first rumor is about Tyson Fury, I guess, kind of about Logan Paul too. So apparently Tyson Fury himself has been pushing to WWE that he wants to do a Tyson Fury versus Logan Paul thing. I'm saying a thing because would it be a match? I mean, it would be a match. What kind of match would it be? Would it be a boxing match or like a wrestling match? If they just want to do this, like it's weird. It's like every once in a while WWE throws a celebrity in the mix, but there's always a veteran wrestler there to make sure things go off smoothly. But Tyson Fury nor Logan Paul are wrestlers, so they're not. WWE's not going to put them up there. At least not a singles match. They could have like a tag or something like that where they could face each other. But yeah, I don't know what they're getting at here. I don't know if they were trying to do like a celebrity like boxing thing, which pulls in a lot of money when they do the pay-per-views on that. But WWE just don't have that kind of money to pull. Like, if they're looking to do one of these fights, it's going to pull $100 million. You're not getting it from WWE. Like, WWE at most maybe give you $1 million each. But yeah, I don't know. They're not going for this. Like Tyson Fury may have mentioned the WWE, but they're not going for this. They might go for like a mixed tag wrestling match, but I don't think first off, we're not having a boxing match, and I don't think they're going to put them up front and center on the platform on like a large stage with them having like no large wrestling background experience whatsoever. So I just don't think that's happening. If it's happening, it's going to be a tag match. Alright, the next rumor is about Sasha Banks and Naomi. Sasha Banks and Naomi, if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, they've walked out of the WWE. They were no longer with the WWE. Sasha Banks and Naomi were unhappy with things, and I'm guessing different things. I know Sasha, there's rumors about each, but that's not what this is about. What this is about is apparently they've been removed from the backstage list of wrestlers that the creative is allowed to use. They just recently did this. They've been on the list for a while, because they were hopeful they might be coming back, but they're not coming back, and I believe at this point, I know Sasha's been released. I'm not too sure about Naomi, but they're both probably going to be released. But an update also on this, on the Peacock app, which is like the WWE Network now, you could like change your like profile icon to different things, and Sasha Banks used to be one of those choices. And apparently within just the past few days, they've removed Sasha Banks as a choice. And all the new WWE content that WWE is releasing and they're editing right now, they've actually taken Sasha Banks out of all that content, whatever it may be. Most notably, I guess, a page return in like 2017. Sasha was in the video, and they've kind of took her out of it via editing. So, yeah, basically going forward, Sasha will not be featured. I don't know if they're going to go as far as to edit her out of pay-per-views on the network or anything like that. I don't know if it's that severe. But I think going forward, they will, if they're using any old footage, they're going to try to take her out of it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is it. This is the final news. This is the final thing I'll be talking about inside this episode of WWE News and Rumors. So this is about John Cena. This is about the Super Cena himself, Mr. John Cena. So, what the hell is going on? He was supposed to, originally we heard he's wrestling at SummerSlam, but no, he's not wrestling at SummerSlam because they're filming the Peacemaker, his like TV show, and he has to be in Vancouver, Canada. And via the insurance policy for these Hollywood I can't call it a Hollywood production, not in Hollywood, but these movie, TV show productions, whatever, via the insurance policy will not let them do dangerous activities such as professional wrestling. Even though wrestling is scripted or whatever, there is still a heightened risk of injury compared to sitting at your home on your couch, like in between shooting. So basically, Cena is not going to be wrestling at SummerSlam, I don't guess, but Vince is still pushing so much so that this past week Vince McMahon actually was planning to fly up to Canada to see John Cena to have a private meeting to actually discuss something in a private meeting. But apparently that didn't happen. There was some kind of scheduling conflict. They haven't started filming. Cena's not up there yet. So apparently they're going to be pushing to do it this week. So Vince McMahon apparently is going to be flying up to Canada, where John Cena, Vancouver, Canada, where John Cena's filming the Peacemaker TV show. He's going to meet with John Cena and try to get him to do a wrestling match. Now, I don't know when they could possibly do this. The rumors are saying Vince is probably meeting with him to push him to do something at WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood, maybe an actual wrestling match. But as for SummerSlam, he's filming, so he can't actually do SummerSlam. And for the rest of the year, there's not really a large pay-per-view large enough to convince Cena to do. So everyone's pointing their finger right now. Cena, WrestleMania 39, they're pushing for him to do a match. And that's what Vince is actually doing. But he's going to be taking his, of course, his private jet. He's going to fly up to Vancouver, Canada, meet with John Cena this week, and try to convince him to come back to WWE to actually wrestle. So there, guys, that's actually going to do it for this episode of WWE News Rumors. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts on all these news stories and rumors in the comment section down below. But I am your king of vlog style, Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.